The next part that we have it, part E, about Sonnet 18 for William Shakespeare. The main idea that I need you to focus on that William Shakespeare is talking about the extreme beauty of his beloved, and he's comparing her to the very special season in England, the summer. Why he compared her to the summer? Because summer and the sun is not common in England, and England is very cloudy and raining most of the time. So when they have the sun, it's something very special, something rare that happens in England. So he compares her to something that all the English people wait for it and they love it so much. And he wants to say here that the beauty of his beloved is much more beautiful than the one of the summer season. Okay, so let's move to the figures of speech that you have it here. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Shall I compare thee like shall I compare you to a summer's day? We have here a metaphor. He compared his beloved to the summer's day to show the extreme beauty or the great beauty of his beloved. Number two, and summer lease has all too short a date. So I'm talking here about this one is a metaphor. I have here the poet comparing the summer to something that can be rented, like it has a contract, and this contract is for a short time, for a short time. Number three, sometimes too hot the eye of heavens shine. So I have here two figures of speech, metaphor and personification. When I compare the hot eye of heaven here is the sun, I compare it to an eye. This is like a metaphor. Personification, when I personify the heaven to a person with an eye. So the eye of heaven, as if heaven is a person, and this person has an eye. But thy eternal summer shall not fade. This is a kind of metaphor. Why? Because you compare the beauty of your beloved to of his beloved, sorry, to the summer. But he wants to give us a message here that the beauty of the summer is short, because as we said, it's a special season, it comes for a short time in England, but the beauty of his beloved is eternal. No one can stop him from loving his beloved. And often in his gold complexion depth. Here, the poet personifies the sun as a person whose complexion or skin is getting darker, and every fair from fair sometimes declines. I have here the repetition of the fast sound at the beginning of the word, fair, from, and fair, which shows here the idea of alliteration. And this is a sound device. It's not a figure of speech. It's a sound device, alliteration. The poet repeated the sound fa in the words fair, from, and fair also to show or to add more music to the sonnet. But thy eternal summer shall not fade. I'm talking here about the word not and the word but, and this is a kind of consonants. Consonants, the poets repeated the same consonant sound ta in the words but and not, as you see here, to add more music to the sonnet. Nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade. Personification, the poet personifies the death, okay, as someone who is proud of his work. So the death will be like a person very proud of his great work, of his masterpieces, when he's capturing the people's hearts and souls. But when he's going to take your soul, my dear beloved lady, he will not be that proud. He will be sad like me, because he captured the beauty of you. When an eternal lines to time thou growest. He compares here his beloved to a plant which is growing to show that her beauty is eternal. And this is a kind of metaphor, of course. So long live this, and this gives life to thee. We have here personification because he compares his poem or his sonnet to a person that lives for a very long time, eternal time. They cannot die here. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long live this and this give life to thee. Here we have a kind of hyperbole. We find that there's a kind of exaggeration about the feelings that the beauty of his beloved will never fade and it will be eternal. And this is a kind of hyperbole. Okay, we have here questions in the poem. The name of the poet, of course, the name of the poet is William Shakespeare. What is the main theme of the sonnet, and what's the rhyme scheme that we have it here? The main theme of the sonnet here, we are talking about the eternal beauty of the beloved. And Shakespeare here is comparing his beloved to, as we said, a special season in England, which is summer, to show that the beauty of his beloved cannot be compared to any other kind of beauty. All these kind of things that we have in life are short, a date, but except for the love of his beauty, or the beauty of his beloved, which will be eternal and never ending. The rhyme scheme that we have it here is A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D, E, F, E, F, G, G. And that's why we say that this one here is a typical one of the Shakespearean sonnets, especially in the idea of the rhyme scheme. Sonnet 18 is a typical Shakespearean sonnet. Yes, we have some reasons for that. First, the poem or the sonnet consists of 14 lines, and they are divided into 3 quatrains followed by a couplet at the end. Quatrains like 4 stanza or 4 sentences stanza, and a couplet is 2 lines stanza. Second, it has a strict rhyme scheme: A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D, E, F, E, F, G, G. The poem is written in iambic pentameter, and this is the meter of the sonnet. 10 beats. I have stressed and then a stressed syllable. And the couplet here sums up the whole sonnet. It gives us the summary of the whole sonnet when it talks about the eternity of his beloved in his lines and in his poetry. Okay, and typically this sonnet talks about or explores the romantic love. It explores the romantic love. Why did the poet start the sonnet with a flattering question? He wants to compare or to show the extreme beauty or the wonderful beauty of his beloved by comparing her to a summer's day. And the comparison here will not be fair. Why? Because the summer cannot compete against the beauty of his beloved, which is something incredible. Why did the poet choose summer as a season? As we said, summer, it came or it comes rarely into England because England most of the time is a cloudy country or a cloudy place. And then when they have the sun, this will be a very special season for them. So he's comparing the beauty of his beloved here to summer because he wants to say that the beauty of his beloved exceeds or surpass the beauty of the summer. Based on the sonnet, how can a lover's beauty be eternal? Here we have a philosophical idea by Shakespeare. He said that the beauty of his beloved can be eternal when it will be kept in his lines, because this sonnet was written about 700 years ago and we still read it so far. And after 1,000 years, God willing, the people are going to read it. So he made the beauty of his beloved. He made his love story eternal in these lines by keeping them in the form of a sonnet. The poet believed that the beauty of his beloved is immortal, it's eternal, it's endless. No one can stop it, even if she died. Yes, when he said that he keep the beauty of his beloved in his lines, and all the people are going to witness this one all over the time. They cannot stop it. Why? Because the beauty of his beloved is immortal. On the surface, the poem is simply a statement of praise about the beauty of the beloved. Yes, okay, all the questions here are related to the same idea. We explain the same idea. The poet acts more like a philosopher in the sonnet. Yes, he used some philosophical ideas, like comparing someone's beauty to one of the nature or one of the elements of nature beauty. Number 2, he compared her to a plant which will be keeping growing forever or eternal, and this why he made it in this way. He made it by keeping her beauty in the form of a sonnet, and all the people are going to read it till the hereafter. Every fair from fair sometimes decline. Everyone, all the things in this life, all the living things that are beautiful, one day they will die and their beauty will fade, except for the beauty of his blood, which will be eternal when he kept it in his lines. In Shakespeare's sonnet or point of view, can the beauty of a summer day compete with the beauty of his blood? Of course, the answer is not or not. Why? Because he said that this beauty will be eternal and it will never fade. Why does the poet repeat so long? He wants to stress something here. The fact that the beauty of my beloved is eternal. It will never fade. It will never fade.